Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Saturday morning.
Two breaking stories as we come on the air. First, right now on I-77, this is where the southbound lanes are blocked about a half-mile south of the Catawba Avenue exit. This is after a tractor-trailer jackknifed. Giving you a live look from that scene. You can see still packed with crews there. The progress we've seen in the last hour and when that road is expected to reopen. And breaking overnight, police say a man was shot in southwest Charlotte. The questions we are asking as the investigation continues. And taking a live look outside, this is the view from our Charlotte cam. Take a look, not too bad out there this morning. Got some clouds out there, a little bit of haziness on this warm morning. An update on just how warm we're going to get. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Brittany Johnson.
And I'm meteorologist Jacqueline Shearer.
You know, Jacqueline, we'll take anything we can get. So a couple of degrees actually makes a difference for some people.
That's right. And we keep those cooler temperatures, the low 90s. Hard to call that cool.
Right.
For one more day before we get back into those mid 90s. But after that, another cool down is on the way to look forward to. 72 degrees right now in Charlotte, so we are warming up pretty quickly. By about 10 a.m. we'll already be in the 80s. Here's a look now at early warning Doppler 9, and it's sweeping a pretty clear image at this point. There is a very slight chance that we'll see a shower or two as we move through the morning hours, but most of that thunderstorm shower activity looking like it'll stick in the afternoon. There's only about a 20% chance that you'll see those showers. We're tracking that all, and I'll have the timing of it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. We're going to get back out to that breaking news now. This is on I-77 right now, where the southbound lanes, they are blocked about a half-mile south of the Catawba Avenue exit. And here's a live look. You can see that crews, they are bringing in part of that barrier there that was knocked out when a tractor trailer jackknifed in that area around 3 o'clock this morning. So we're talking about 4 hours ago, and this scene still blocked off. The crash happened again around 3. It involved a truck filled with asphalt, and some of that asphalt, it spilled on the interstate. And again, showing you a live look right now at I-77 southbound. This is at exit 28. You can see that crews there, again, they're working to replace pieces of that concrete barrier. They've been clearing the asphalt that spilled from that truck during the crash. We're told that the driver in that truck, a helicopter, took him to the hospital, and that was after crews worked for more than an hour to free him from that accident. So we're going to keep an eye on this scene. We will let you know when I-77 southbound at exit 28 reopens. For now, drivers are being rerouted onto Catawba Avenue to Statesville Road, then back to I-77 from Sam Fur Road. Turning to breaking news overnight in southwest Charlotte, this is where CMPD is investigating a shooting. That shooting happened just after 2 in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Remus Road. This is just off of South Tryon near Tremont. Now, police say the victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. This is after being shot inside of his car. We are asking detectives if they have a motive or a suspect description. And as soon as we get any new information, we'll let you know. Following weeks of controversy, Councilwoman Lawana Mayfield is trying to change talk into action. You'll recall she's drawn criticism for some of her tweets comparing some police to terrorists. It's a move that drew protests from officers' wives. Eyewitness News reporter Deshaun Brown talked to her about the forum meant to address the real issue.
Just being mad about it is not going to change anything.
There's been a lot of talk about what's been said and tweeted after a controversial post on social media comparing police officers to terrorists.
When we talk about
tonight, Charlotte Councilwoman Lawana Mayfield is leading the conversation, hoping to change it.
I've never said we don't have good cops. I've been one of the biggest champions for CMPD for the entire 7 years I've been in office. But that doesn't mean I'm going to turn a blind eye to those who have taken some idea of authority and misused it and abused my community.
Tonight's Mayfield invited the community and several panelists to help her in a forum about healing relationships between officers and communities of color. Panelists included an activist, a minister, and mother, and retired CMPD Chief Rodney Monroe.
I think if we avoid one another and we don't try to have the real conversations that's needed to better understand one another, then we'll never be able to move forward.
Monroe now serves as a consultant with the Police Foundation. The national group works independently to try to make the profession better through science and innovation. Foundation members debuted one of those ideas through virtual reality. allowing officers and community members to see what the other sees and feels.
And respect is as respect does. So that's the biggest key.
Deshawn Brown, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Now, Mayfield also said she hasn't spoken with CMPD Chief Kerr Putney about her tweet. She said that's why she called on a retired police chief to speak, because she felt like he could speak openly about the issues she wanted to address. Tensions boiling over in Pittsburgh after a deadly officer-involved shooting on Tuesday. This is new video overnight of police clearing protesters from a bridge. You can see there those officers, they have zip ties attached to their belts. The groups are protesting after a rookie officer shot and killed Antoine Rose as he ran from a traffic stop. The medical examiner says Rose was shot once in the torso, and the manner of death was listed as homicide. A former Lake Norman High School teacher will face a judge on Monday, accused of having an improper relationship with a teen. Jonathan Bush faces statutory rape and indecent liberties charges. His accuser was 15 at the time, and sources tell Channel 9 she is the same teen whose text messages led to prison time for former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. Former Gaston County prosecutor Michael Neese says attorneys will probably talk with the judge about how evidence in Weiner's case should be viewed in Bush's case. This statement went out to Lake Norman High School parents, reading in part, the alleged incidents did not occur on the campus of Lake Norman High School, nor involved any current or former Lake Norman High School students. Today, Channel 9 is reaching out to officials at Providence Day School for an update on the students who were hurt during a crash in Argentina. 3 students and 2 adult chaperones are still recovering in Buenos Aires after the crash last Sunday. 1 person died. That person was not part of the Providence Day group. Earlier this week, the school told us 7 students would be returning to Charlotte soon. The group was on a Spanish immersion trip. Your time is now 7:06. Atrium Health told Channel 9 a judge just ruled in its favor, and a new anesthesiology provider can begin work July 1st. The current group had filed an injunction to keep that from happening. In a statement, Atrium told us that it is pleased with the ruling to stop the injunction, and that the new group is, quote, in the process of meeting with our surgical staff and certified registered nurse anesthetists to ensure a seamless transition. Today, protests and rallies are expected along the U.S.-Mexico border. At least 24 congressional Democrats plan to visit detention facilities where hundreds of children are being held separate from their families. On Wednesday, President Donald Trump ordered the children be reunited with the adults, but the concern is that smugglers are using the kids to try to get into the U.S.
We do not want the smugglers to claim any minors to be theirs for monetary purposes, or maybe because they may want to further themselves with the child into the United States.
The future of the child varies depending on their specific case. They can be released to family members, handed over to another agency, or sent back to their home countries. New this morning, the woman who defeated South Carolina Representative Mark Sanford in the primary election was seriously hurt in a car accident. Katie Arrington and a friend were hurt after a wrong-way driver hit them in Charleston County late Friday night. A representative says Arrington has undergone surgery and is recovering. There is no word on her condition at this time. The driver of the car that hit her died at the scene. Today, Vice President Mike Pence will visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The VP is taking part in an event at Coastal Carolina University, campaigning for Governor Henry McMaster. The event is scheduled to start around 3 o'clock this afternoon. President Donald Trump will also be in the state to campaign for McMaster on Monday in Columbia. McMaster is set to compete in a runoff primary race on Tuesday against businessman John Warren. We are learning more about a major company potentially coming to West Charlotte. Channel 9 reported Thursday that Amazon is considering opening a distribution center near the airport. Now, this would be the 4th location in our area. The online giant already has spots in Cabarrus County and one on the edge of Mecklenburg and Gaston counties. The land is vacant. The city council is expected to approve the deal on Monday. Today, we learned that site could bring about 1,500 well-paying jobs with benefits. Councilmember Dimple Ajmira says this is huge news for the West Side.
This is really delivering on our promises of bringing good paying jobs to our city.
Now, Amazon has not officially been announced as the tenant, but the city has been dropping some hints. The deal's nickname is Project Quattro. Quattro, of course, means 4, and this would be the 4th Amazon location in our area. And the LLC working with the city on the project is named CF Hippolyta Charlotte. In Greek mythology, Hippolyta was an Amazonian queen. CMPD is investigating a rash of home break-ins, 15 of them, all happening in the middle of the night since May 30th in the Myers Park, Eastover, and Cotswold neighborhoods. And in many cases, people were home at the time. Take a good look at this photo. This is the suspect they are looking for. Police say he was spotted using a credit card stolen in one of these break-ins. Now, if you recognize him, call police. North Carolina regulators denied Duke Energy's request to raise your electric rates. Duke was pushing for an 8.5% rate increase, in part to pay for upgrades to their power grid. The Utilities Commission said no to that request, ordered Duke to pay back $60 million in deferred taxes to customers, and fined the energy giant $70 million for the way it handled coal ash. The commission said they denied the request mainly because tax reform dropped Duke's corporate income tax rate from 35% to 21%. Today, Charlotte area realtors are teaming up with runners for a 5K run to help end homelessness. The Strides for Shelter event is happening at the McAlpine Creek Park. It starts at 8:30, so about an hour and a half left. All of the money raised will benefit the men's shelter of Charlotte, and the money will be used for the center's renovation at the location on North Tryon Street. Your time is now 7:11, getting a live look outside. This is the view from our Speedway cam. Kind of cloudy out there, so the sun not shining just too bright directly on you. Maybe if you are getting out early for that run, Jacqueline, this is the time to do it.
That's right. And you know what? We could see a shower or two pop up throughout the area as we move through the morning hours. More likely they'll hold off until the afternoon, but there is about a 10% chance that you'll see one. If you are headed out to that race, this is something you want to keep in mind, that UV forecast, sun danger expected to be very high as we move through the next few hours throughout the day, really. It's a slightly cooler day in Charlotte today for the last day before those temperatures start to climb tomorrow. 91 degrees for that high temperature, but we do have those shower chances. We'll time them all out coming up in just a few minutes.
Renewed hope for a local boy with autism after someone stole his custom bike. At 7:45, the Special Way police came together to track it down. A local restaurant linked to a possible E. coli outbreak. Ahead at 7:30, the manager's message to customers during the investigation. Homeowners on alert after a person in a mummy mask tried to break into homes. Next, the Wake police say the suspect is trying to bypass security.